Hello there. I thought I'd make some videos, that's what this is for, I guess. Well, I don't make a lot of these videos like this. I don't like also, there's a slight fisheye thing, makes my nose look bigger. So I actually prefer the other, I'm using my phone here, and this is what the screen facing me. I don't like that camera. But anyway. I think talking about the production value on your channel is a bit boring. I got some pasta here. I'm in America. I've got this pasta here I made. It's terrible. I want to talk about that because the food in America has some problems. Really don't like how I look in the camera. Anyway, yeah, and then we got math. Let me show you that. Can we switch the thing, right? Can I switch I can't switch the orientation while I'm doing this? I thought you could. Anyway, so I have to hold it like this? There's all this math. I guess I'll talk about this at a different time. Not right now. So I'm gonna record more videos where I'm just, talking to the camera a bit. And there's various things I want to say, I guess. But many of you know I've done a lot of live streams in the past. That's fun, until it's not fun anymore. When you do too much, it gets a little tedious. And so maybe I'll just record some videos, old school style. I don't know if it's better to do landscape or portrait, because if you do portrait, you can sometimes edit a short. I don't think I'm going to be editing a short here. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about the food in America. By the way, I'm probably only going to be here a short time, go back to Japan. Should we talk about the food? Why not? It's so I have a story to tell. When I was in France for a couple of years, well, for a year I was in Paris, for a year I was in a different place called Amiens. And when I was in Amiens, all my friends were poor. I had some money. I was doing stuff online, but I had, all my friends were, a lot of my friends were musicians, because that's a long story. Anyway, no, my friends didn't have money. So I basically, when I was in Amiens for like a year, I basically almost never ate out, I think. Like very seldomly. And so we used to cook a lot. I remember eating a lot of cereal because that's easy to make. And a lot of pasta. Sometimes I'd make steaks. I made a lot of steaks because that was easy and yummy. They have, in France, the steaks are usually pretty thin. So they're very quick to cook. Sometimes, I remember a couple times at least cooking up a bunch of like shellfish, like mussels, maybe some clams, maybe mixing it with pasta. But anyway, I also made a lot of pasta. And I came back to visit here in America, and the pasta, well, I tried to make a similar pasta here, and as what I usually did in France. And I basically spat it out. It was just disgusting. And I was shocked. It's horrible. And so I didn't really know why I went back to France. I thought probably I had made it with tap water. There's a couple theories. Leading theory was maybe I had used tap water to cook the pasta, and the tap water can be quite disgusting. I'm in the Los Angeles area. You don't want to drink the tap water here. It's pretty gross. One time it straight up burned my throat. I don't know, crazy. Then that's one theory. Another theory is I think they're required by law to put a bunch of vitamins and maybe minerals into pasta. I'm pretty sure they're required to do that for bread, cereal, and I think pasta. So that's another theory, is that they got to put a lot of vitamins in the pasta, and vitamins don't taste very good. If you try chomping into a vitamin, see how it tastes, right? It doesn't taste so great. So I'm back. I was in Japan for like 8 years. I mean, it's been 8 years since I visited America, I think. And I made pasta and I used Crystal Geyser. I used bottled water, okay, to remove that variable. It's not good. Hold on, I'm gonna bring you I'll show you what I made it with. Okay, that's a pretty reasonable thing, I think. Yeah, let me just grab this. Hold on. Go back to where I'm recording. Yeah, and so I think it's the vitamins, or the Italians are just taking their good stuff and sending Americans the not so good stuff because we don't know better. The standard for food is lower. Okay, I've lived in France, I've lived in Japan, I've visited Italy. I think, these places have a much higher standard of food. That's another conversation, I guess. But anyway, this is the thing. Okay. So, yeah. Anyway, it's not good. That's the moral of the lesson here. Anyway. What do they got? They've got thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folate. I think those are all B vitamins. They're all like 50%, 20%, between 20 to 50% of your daily required amount. I don't know if they have other vitamins in there too. So you're getting a bunch of vitamins. So I guess I'm gonna have to make my own pasta because this is just gross. I'm kind of angry. It's disgusting. It's not the sauce, And the thing is, I think some people don't realize this for some reason, but one of the most important things, so I guess some people don't think about these things, so they just think, you put something in your mouth, you taste the flavor, and that's it. But don't they say like your sense of smell is like 80 to 90% of the sensation? Well, how to put it? 80 to 90% of, I don't know, not your taste, I guess your sense of taste is actually mainly smell. Something like that, right? Because when you have a cold and your nose is blocked up, you can't really taste anything properly. So what happens is you put something in your mouth and the whole combo of your taste, the taste buds and your olfactory sense, the sense of smell, is put together, and your brain decides, is this food? Is it not food, right? If you put something in your mouth like plastic or sand or a pill, it does not taste, your brain, it's hard to swallow. Well, hopefully you're not swallowing sand. But, if it's a vitamin or a pill, it can be hard to swallow because your brain is telling you that's not food. And it's mainly not about your taste buds. I think it's about your sense of smell, I think. And so that ties in with savoriness, because and I guess umami is just another word for that. I don't think your taste buds determine so much the savoriness. It's the olfactory, the sense of smell. And to me, when I bite into some delicious steak, it is not the taste on my tongue that's the huge factor. It's the umami, the savoriness, the juiciness that you put in your mouth and you're happy. It's great. That to me is, so I guess you could call that umami, but I think when people say umami, like they attach this like magical thing to it. Umami is simply savoriness. We have that word. Savoriness is kind of an awkward word. So I suppose it makes sense that we talk about umami, whatever. Anyway, and maybe there's more to it because, well, we can get into semantics. Like, I think it's complicated how this stuff works. It's not just one thing. But anyway, so yeah, to me, that's the most important thing. And so if I take just the pasta noodle and I chew it up in my mouth, my brain should be saying, yeah, this is good. Swallow this, yum. It's not doing that with this. And maybe it's the vitamins. It's going, what is this? Nah. That's what it's doing. It's going, nah. So for me, this pasta that I made is disappointing. Fully disappointed, and my day is ruined. 2.5. It's really a 2, now that I think about it. And so I've been here for a couple weeks. I was surviving off of, eating out sometimes, and just, I was making quesadillas, eating chips and salsa, because in Japan, where I live normally, it's possible I've had Mexican food once in the last 8 years in Japan. I remember one time that I had tacos. I cannot remember another time. There might have been. Well, I made some squid tacos, or it's almost like a ceviche style thing. Okay, so 2, I guess. There's probably a couple more incidents that I just don't remember. But anyway, what I'm saying is I don't eat a lot of Mexican in Japan because it's very rare there. And now I'm in California, so Southern California, so I can, go several weeks just on Mexican food in fact, my go-tos are going to be Mexican food. It would be nice if I could rely on pasta, but it's hard. It's crazy to me because if you're trying to save money, my go-tos are pasta dishes and rice dishes. And for me, Japan has the best rice in the world. My personal preference, but I mean, I think there's thousands of types of rice probably. So, or at least there's many types. So I haven't tried them all. And it depends on your cooking. I mean, Japanese rice goes well with Japanese food. If you're making Thai food, the rice typically is different, right? Thai rice is different. And I mean, you can make Thai food with Japanese rice and it's good, but if I invited someone to my house and I were making a Thai curry, I would use the Thai rice, right? So anyway, China's rice is a bit different, I think. I think the Korean rice is kind of similar to Japanese rice, but probably a little different. Anyway, and in the past, I've been disappointed with the rice. I used to eat brown rice when I was focused on my health. This was like 20 years ago, and it's awful. The brown rice in Japan is way better. But if you look for it, you can get Japanese rice here in California. So, or Thai rice or whatever. So, or maybe Mexican rice. So I'm gonna, but it really matters. You can easily just buy some random rice at the supermarket and it totally sucks if you're paying attention. The thing is, a lot of people don't pay attention. That comes back to the standards. I'm not a great cook, but I'm not a good cook. I experiment all the time. I don't really follow recipes, but when I do cook, I'm tasting things separately to make sure that each of these ingredients are okay. And I think you don't have to do that all the time, but it's a good thing to occasionally taste the ingredient by itself and see, is this, because if you have some recipe you cook sometimes and it's got a mix of bunch of different ingredients, you might be surprised that actually one of them isn't particularly good for some reason. So anyway, and the reasons could be, myriad. Especially in America, people try to cut costs, right? The tomato is not very good here because I mean, I don't think I need to explain that. I think people know that pretty well, that homegrown tomatoes are way better. And it's because they've engineered the tomato to have a good shelf life. And so there's a lot of things like that. So there's a lot of things where they cut costs. And I think, now I've had some good meals that people have cooked for me here. Like you can get pretty good sea bass, for example, here. That's kind of rare in Japan, but if you look for it, I think you can find it. Yeah, so there could be good seafood and even good sushi. What else? And some good Mexican food. You know, you can find good food. You just have to. It's very easy to find not so great food here. That's all. So, but the pasta thing in particular, right now I'm thinking it's the vitamins are the problem. Now, if I buy flour, I think that has vitamins in it too that they add in. It's really annoying. Do I have to make my own flour to get around this? But there's something wrong with the pasta here. It's weird. Anyway, that's it for today. I mean, I can talk about random things like this, and I'm in America anyway, so that's kind of different from how normally I'm in Japan. There's all this math stuff to talk about. I'm working on a open problem called the general formula for the Pisano period of a natural number. And I've been working on that since early May. So I'm a few months in. There's so much interesting stuff with that. The Fibonacci sequence, golden ratio, there's all this interesting stuff. Anyway, I was talking about food, so I'll try to keep these sort of packaged to some degree. My hair is always going to be messed up and disheveled, and that's it because I'm really lazy. Hope you have a great day wherever you are. Bye.